I definitely saw what Copenhagen Wolves did to Alliance. It was the equivalent of the Brazil versus Germany match.
The Copenhagen Wolves pull off the shock of the split so far and take down Ilyas.
One thing I really like about the players is that they put a lot of effort into thinking about different types of strategies, and they aren't afraid to make these types of risks because by all means Alliance are probably the best team in Europe right now, so standard gameplay isn't exactly going to be as efficient against them.
Welcome back, everyone. We've switched out Quickshot for Deficio now, and the next clash is upon us. It is Alliance facing off against the Copenhagen Wolves. Last time these teams met, it was the Copenhagen Wolves that came out victorious after a very impressive all-in tactic. If you think further back to the LCS London back in week 5, it was probably the match of that weekend. 51 kills in 51 minutes. Crazy match, that's for sure. Yesterday, of course, Alliance, well, they cemented their position as the best team in Europe. They are sitting comfortably at the top of the table now after halting Fnatic's win streak once again. It was a solid performance and very disciplined. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race, you could say, because Alliance, they control objectives, and Fnatic never really wanted to team fight against Alliance, so it simply meant the Alliance could take 5 out of 6 dragons, 2 out of 3 barons as well, and got a very, very big goal lead simply by taking these dragons away from Fnatic. So it was a great tactical showing, where both teams, again, they focused on either getting towers or getting dragons, instead of actually fighting each other, which maybe was a bit of a mistake by Fnatic. Alliance used it to just get a big lead and actually win the game here. And if they do beat Copenhagen Wolves now, then they will go into Super Week with an almost secured #1 spot and will look great heading into the playoffs. Yeah, it's definitely a big turnaround when you think about how Alliance played in the spring, of course. Well, the Copenhagen Wolves themselves faced an impressive Millennium yesterday, and despite a great double kill for Soren in the mid lane, honestly, they committed to a little bit of an ill-fated dragon fight where honestly they probably shouldn't have got involved, and simply they got wombo comboed out of the game. Yeah, so if you just look at the start, they actually had a very good start, the Copenhagen Wolves. We had the double kill for Soren, you just mentioned it yourself, where Brokenshard helped him out, secured a double kill. However, they kept playing aggressive throughout the entire mid-game where Millennium was very, very strong, and they kept engaging into fights, and it was just a matter of time before it would go wrong, and it did at the third dragon. Copenhagen Wolves engage in, we get a perfect Yasuo ult from Kevin, double bomb from Kerber and Cillian, and Copenhagen Wolves are dead, lost the fight, lost the dragon, and fell very, very far behind. A positive note for the Copenhagen Wolves is the synergy between Brokenshard and Soren. It's still very early, but they actually look to really enjoy playing with each other here. They seem to be on the same page. Again, the double kill Soren picked up yesterday was all due to Brokenshard being around this mid lane, helping him. So it's a very big thing for Copenhagen Wolves heading into a possible promotion tournament where you have the synergy between your mid laner and your jungler. We have to say, however, Copenhagen Wolves are not 100% out of the playoffs, but it's very, very hard now. They need to win every single game and hope Rocket or SK Gaming really start losing everything in the Super Week. So there's still a small chance. Otherwise, they can just focus now on getting towards promotion tournament, secure the 7th spot they had now, and therefore be able to pick one of the challenger teams. Yeah, they're going to have to win every single game. It's a big task, though, but they have just seen Roccat lose that last matchup. It may spur them on. Let's check out the lineups for these matches. Over on the blue side is Alliance. Wickd in the top lane, Shook in the jungle, Froggen in the mid lane, Tabzz as the AD carry, and Nyph on support. On the red side, we have the Copenhagen Wolves, YoungBuck in the top lane, Brokenshard in the jungle, Soren, of course, in the mid lane, Woolite as the AD carry, and Unlimited on support. So you've been voting on which team will win over on lolesports.com, so let's check in to see how this match added up. No surprises, it's a biggie, ladies and gentlemen, 83% for Alliance. Still, last time, Copenhagen Wolves. Copenhagen Wolves beat Alliance last time. Maybe a few people believe they can do it again. I really enjoyed or liked the tactic they used where Woolite, he went mid lane with red buff at level 1, denied a lot of farm from Froggen, even killed him. And Copenhagen was actually snowballed the game. Yeah. Alliance were never ready for what was going on here and just ended up losing in like 30 minutes. Big, big win for them. Can they do it again? It was an all-in tactic. You heard from Brokenshard just at the start there. It's like, if you were just to go straight up toe for toe with Alliance, as a team, they probably wouldn't win. which is why they may want to try something different once again.
And it's one of the reasons I actually believe that Copenhagen Wolves will go into the promotion tournament as one of the favorites, because they know how to play their own game. They don't have to just follow what everyone else is doing. They have their own ideas. We see a lot of Jarvan from Brokenshard if you just look at the picks for them. We saw a Twisted Fate yesterday from Soren and a new pick for him. He's only been here for 2 weeks, but still, already seen a new pick. He performed well. Would like to see a bit more ultis, but still his laning phase was good.
So speaking of new picks, do we think Riven is a viable ban?
I believe so, yes.
He's 100% 3 for 0 right now.
It appears that nobody knows exactly how to play against Riven, because Shook is the only guy who actually plays it here in Europe. And every time he picks it, even though you lane swap, you try and shut him down early on, he will still have an impact later in the game, because the people don't really know how to constantly keep him down. And we often see the junglers as well try and fight him early on. As a Riven, you don't fight a Riven early on. It's where he's strongest. So you make sure you deny him some farm, you make sure you don't give him early leads, early kills, and then when against the team fights, if he's squishy because he didn't pick up any kills, then you can take him down very easily. If you do try and fight him, if you try and counter gank him or something, he will be stronger, and make sure he gets a few kills, and then he starts snowballing.
Well, I mean, we saw it yesterday. Obviously, Fnatic went for that crazy move. They managed to get in there, to steal away the red buff, and they tried to suffocate and take as much away from Shook in that jungle at the opening start of the game. But it wasn't enough. He managed to bounce back, and sure enough, he came out strong again.
It was the issue for Fnatic. They started out really well in the game, and then they kind of stopped. So Alliance picked up all the dragons, got all the global gold for Shook here, and he actually got rolling again and ended up having a pretty good game. Didn't die on Riven yesterday either, and picked up 2 kills, I believe. So a fine game when you consider the few amount of kills we actually had.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Picks and bans underway here for Alliance versus the Copenhagen Wolves. Braum will get taken away, and sure as hell, there is the Riven ban taken away from Shook. Nobody really knows how to deal with him, and Shook, well, I don't know whether he'd be happy with that. He's got a wry smile on his face there. Orianna taken away from Soren. No surprises there. The Danish counterpart that Froggen has probably faced countless times in solo queue.
100%.
They know exactly what he plays. Gragas also banned away.
So Lee Sin is open now. He's been the main champion for Shook. He only picked Riven once Lee Sin was actually banned away, so could be a potential first pick for Alliance here.
Oh!
Unless Kassadin, of course, is left open.
Well, that's a bit of a mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, I would probably not give it to the best mid laner in Europe.
93.6% ban rate. And of course, picked every other time it was available.
Yeah.
And an 80% win rate. That's a possible mistake. Or were they expecting it?
Maybe we're gonna see Copenhagen Wolves send Woolite mid lane again against Froggen if he's sitting in mid lane on the Kassadin, and just try and push him into the tower.
This is what they did last time.
This is what they did last time. They could do it, try to do it at least here, but at least Alliance should be ready for it now and know what to do if it should happen. But it's very important that Copenhagen Wolves can shut down Froggen early, and they must have something planned.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it works out. As you mentioned, that one loss on Kassadin was from Froggen. See how it works out for them. Also, Lee Sin being picked in there. Tristana becoming a popular champion for the AD carries. We saw Kog'Maw banned once again and again, as Candy Panda took him. Said he's a great pick.
Yeah, and Mr. Raleigh said yesterday it's now the safest pick because Lucian is gone. Tristana is a very strong laner. Her mid game is a bit weak, but as long as you dominate your lane, you will kickstart your way into the late game, and then you will remain strong throughout the entire game. So she's just a very safe pick. And she works with pretty much every single support here. So coming in as now the new, or one of the new power picks for the AD carries, Corki of course has been the other option, especially if you look at like Creaton, who loves to play Corki. Tabzz picking it up now. Very strong laner as well, very strong mid game, but will get outskilled going into the late game compared to Tristana.
We'll see where this goes. We do see Corki, of course, picked up by Tabzz. And of course, Froggen is picking up Aurelia for Wickd. Standard top laner for him once again. Since Gragas banned away, he still goes into that one. Happy to blind pick into it as well. And YoungBuck with a big smile on his face. Looks like he's going to be getting Mundo.
I really, really like the picks here from Copenhagen Wolves. Yasuo,
I'm not sure. I reckon they're going to change this. I wonder where Yasuo is going here.
Well, Yasuo, he's going to go to the mid lane. I predict for now, because Dr. Mundo against Aurelia should actually be a matchup where Dr. Mundo might fall slightly behind in CS, but he can at least pick up some farm and then get into his late game point where he is such a beast. And then the Yasuo, you already have Lee Sin and Tristana to set up your knockups here. We've seen Complexity use the same comp really well, where as Tristana, you jump in, you just use your ulti on someone like Corki, and you instantly set up a perfect ult here from Yasuo to just try and instant kill the enemy AD carry.
displacement. That's all he needs for Yasuo to get him. We saw some great play yesterday in Copenhagen Wolves. Saw it firsthand from Kevin. Of course, that Yasuo ultimate. Tabzz currently looking to select the support for the support. I was going to say, why does Nyph not just select that himself? And that looks like he will do. And it's going to be Ilyas, it seems, for Shook.
Oh, so not picking Ilyas in here. Oh, it's already been picked by Copenhagen Wolves, so would have been weird if he picked it. Ilyas,
Mirror match, oh my god!
Also been one of the go-to junglers from Shook, so nothing new here with Riven being banned away.
Right.
It's all about his Kassadin, honestly, from Alliance. We have to say 4.12, a few changes to Kassadin. His W has 3 seconds more, a longer cooldown than before. And also he's slow now. Only lasts for 1 second, but he's slow for a lot more during this 1 second here.
See how it works out for them. Shook has some great stats. Not as good as Cyanides, it turned out yesterday. Some fantastic stats for him so far this split. Unlimited. Final choice, what will it be? It's going to be the support. It's not going to be a big decision, I don't think.
So he used to play Blitzcrank. Did it the last 2 weeks. He played it against Urian Thresh yesterday. And could be
it would fit
again.
For a Yasuo?
It would. I mean, again, a lot of setup for Soren here. Unless Copenhagen Wolves don't actually want to put someone towards them, because they want Alliance to be in a group and then get mold or get the knock-up from Soren and then just
do it. No.
Didn't lock it in yet. Oh, still a chance. Did it!
Holy cow!
Yes! Alright, Alistar changes again in 4.12. The mana cost on his Q and W has gone down. And the massive deal as well, his ulti at rank 6 now, or rank 1 at level 6, is 70% damage reduction instantly. It used to be at level 16. You got the 70%. Yeah, it's a massive ult instantly. And then with the lower mana cost on his Q and W, it means his laning phase is slightly better and he can actually set up some ganks now. If Brokenshard joins in and the cow gets a knock-up to you, it's very easy for Brokenshard to safeguard onto him and just follow up the gank.
Well, we'll see if he continues to move around the map.
It's okay. Okay.
He likes to get his boots of mobility.
I really want to see here if Woolite and Unlimited want to try and do the knockbacks. Because you have Tristana holding someone back, then you headbutt them even further. So you're just in the middle of the lane, you just smack them into your own tower.
They're a very tanky team.
Yeah.
In all honesty, we'll see how this one works out. Which team do you guys at home think has come out on top in this Champion Select? There's definitely been a different one, that's for sure. Tweet at Esports with hashtag AllWin for Alliance or hashtag CWWin for the Copenhagen Wolves, and we'll check the results in game. Of course, 80+% of you. I think it was 83% for Alliance. Big vote, but as we mentioned, the Wolves have done this before. Can they do it again?
Yeah, and will they actually send Woolite mid lane on Tristana and just push in the wave constantly? And then you have Unlimited as the roaming cow. Get level 2 and just start roaming between the lanes here. He likes to do it. He normally does it in the Copenhagen
Alliance is
games
a good champion to do it. It's what used to happen back in Season 2.
Exactly. You would roam around on Alistar, just constantly gank lanes here. If he goes up to top lane with the jungler, they can easily get kills for YoungBuck.
No, we'll see how this one works out, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3 getting underway. Alliance are starting out as the blue team, top of the table, up against the Copenhagen Wolves, who themselves are currently 7th and desperately trying to keep themselves alive with their playoff hopes.
And notice, starting items from Unlimited. No combat stats, boots. He needs to be able to move around the map here, constantly look for the ganks. No gold per 10 item, no tanky items. So if he's stuck in the laning phase against something like a Corki, could be hard now with boots. Still, again, he's Alistar, he's very, very tanky. And actually, it should be a pretty strong lane in the case because you have Tristana, who's one of the AD carries who can handle herself. And you can just rely on her winning the poke war, and then you just have to stay in and set up ganks in case Brokenshard wants to come down to his bottom lane.
Well, YoungBuck is continuing to deliver the news to Wickd there, giving him some corporate documents. Ward goes down. Wickd, you're not going to be able to clear that one out just yet. Pings go down. Blue Wolf Ward count in there by Alliance, actually, while we're watching this focus. Blue Wolf Ward, of course, from YoungBuck as well. So the Wolves have had a bit of a lane switch, and they are going top, and they're looking for one of those dirty, cheesy ganks.
Let's see. So the dual lane from Alliance.
It's been a long time since I saw this work.
A long time. Maybe. I mean, Wickd is running up here. Innocent Wickd. Maybe he wants to have a peek in the brush. And then he meets a big fat cow. He does have flask, however, so a lot of sustain on Wickd. He should actually be able to stay alive. Never mind though, YoungBuck also on this top lane. So Copenhagen Wolves want to bait it. So it looks like standard lanes between YoungBuck and Wickd. And
this might be a flash pulverize if it lands. YoungBuck's got to be careful he doesn't give this away. The bottom lane are not giving any news. Wickd is going to push in innocently. Flash pulverize is what we're looking for. He's trying to bring him towards the bush. Oh, this is going to happen. They're going in towards him, jumping down. Pulverize on Wickd. He's got flash available. Is he going to get out?
They're going to get it.
Use it. Ignite goes down. First blood for Woolite, and it did indeed work.
Such a nice setup here. Completely baiting Wickd to think it's just a standard one-on-one lane with YoungBuck. Now there's teleporting YoungBuck. He's just going to go down to this bottom lane whenever he needs to. Brokenshard, however, has been forced away from his blue buff. Very surprised he actually started his own blue buff. When they have so many members in the top side, it's very risky to start the buff opposite of where your dual lane is.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, it's a little bit strange why they didn't go for the red buff there just to secure that one.
Alliance blue buff.
Nyph into rotations, and I think Alliance were well aware of what they were up against here. Instead, it's a counterplay, and both Alliance and Copenhagen Wolves go for their own blue buffs.
Alliance were pretty unhappy last time they lost to Copenhagen Wolves. They said it was dirty tricks from the Wolves. Now they have another thing to complain about, but it was such a nice setup and such a smart play by Copenhagen Wolves. Now picking up blue buff, Brokenshard, he can take his red buff afterwards, and therefore just trade buffs, but you still got the first blood onto your hyper carry.
Yeah, Wickd is old enough and big enough to deal with that sort of thing. He's been around long enough in the game to be well aware of that old dirty trick. I think everyone in bronze level was aware of that trick, but instead he got baited into it. Wasn't expecting it at this level. Brokenshard continuing with the buddy system alongside YoungBuck, and they're coming round from round 2.
Well, there's a ward.
Oh, there's an
There's
award.
a ward, yeah, he's backing away. YoungBuck is only level 1, so he wouldn't be able to do too much either. Just throw his Breathe Cave once again in the face of Wickd. But his Woolite now left by himself because Unlimited with the boots. Just wanted level 2 and now starting to roam around.
The cow looking to go in the mid lane, trying to force something from Froggen here. Can they try and burn out a flash? Soren, it's not going to happen. Unlimited's realising that already. Still headbutt pulverizes anyway.
Oh,
why not?
Showing who's the boss here. Soren, however, actually falling slightly behind because there's a big minion wave being built up by Froggen, but he was so close to his own tower, there's nothing Unlimited could actually do.
While this is what worked last time around, remember Alliance said they saw SK dealing with this, they knew how to deal with it. They're leaving Tabzz all on his own down the bottom. He's getting free farm right now. He's not shoving the tower though.
No, he's actually been freezing the lane, so it means YoungBuck is now forced to stay with Brokenshard and run around the jungle and look for farm. Because if YoungBuck TPs down to this bottom lane now, it's going to be hard for him to push the wave out when Tabzz is already level 4. So he's actually forced now to be jungling with Brokenshard. Now he's going to return down to this bottom lane, but save the teleport, so he's going to go down, try and push out the wave, take all the damage he needs to take to actually push it into the tower, and then go back to base, and then he can TP down to the lane once again and make sure he gets some farm.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk too much about this mid lane pairing. Of course, Yasuo up against the Kassadin. It is one we've seen before in this very game, I believe it was. Coulthard ran it, of course. That was back in London, where Froggen insisted the fact that Yasuo was let through wasn't the reason they lost that fight. Soren taking some big burst damage. He's now got some boots to fill here in the Copenhagen Wolves, and we'll see whether he can mimic the performance that Coulthard did in London.
And notice the bottom lane here, Brokenshard joining YoungBuck to make sure he can get some farm. The lane did actually reset now, so YoungBuck can at least stay and farm with his cleaver if needed. And Brokenshard could just back away because he wasn't exactly... No reason to actually help YoungBuck.
Said that wrong. It was Selfie, of course.
It was.
Did that. It was for Super Hot Crew.
Well, it's been many games this season, to be honest.
There has been a lot of games. I'm getting old as well. Let's not forget that. Unlimited, he's going round for another return trip. This time around, can he burn the flash from Froggen? Headbutt pulverize. Nope, there's the flash gone. Worked out well, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
And again, the roam from Unlimited with his boots as the very first item. Just leave Woolite to farm by himself. Now, we did actually see Nyph join Wickd up in his top lane to now push it out to make sure Wickd can also go back to base and pick up some items. And yesterday against Fnatic, we had the same deal with lane swaps early on. Wickd played Irelia, and he got a lot of help from Nyph, he got help from Shook to make sure he could pick up a lot of farm. And notice here, 31 CS already to 9 from YoungBuck. So Wickd is doing a very good job always getting farm, even though he's lane swapped.
Yeah, started out with the Crystalline Flask again as well, so was expecting some trouble, I think, at the very beginning of this game. Meanwhile, of course, we see YoungBuck. He is now back in that bottom wave and is starting to finally get himself some farm. Went for the Ruby Crystal early on to just make sure he was secure. He's going to try and... Is he going to shove the wave out, or is he just going to hold it? I think he should hold it.
getting all the farm he can. He does have teleport, same goes for Wickd, when, of course, with YoungBuck being down his bottom side, he can always join in for the dragon. And notice here, Alliance just went back to base, and they bought a lot of wards. So we could see them trying to set up around the dragon, because if Woolite is stuck on his top lane, if he returns to the top lane after his recall here, it means Alliance can easily get 5 members around the dragon, and Copenhagen Wolves can only get 4.
Well, Soren is keeping up the farm. Froggen doing a very good job on Kassadin to keep his numbers high, highest on the map so far. 80 carries wise, very even between them, but we expect that. They're not up against each other.
And Wickd needs to push the top lane now, so he can force YoungBuck to use the teleport to come up here and get the farm, and then he can go down to the dragon for Alliance. He's just holding the lane at the moment, even though he saw Woolite actually recall and know he's not in the lane, and it would be very weird for him to return to the top lane. So he should just push it into the tower and see if he can force YoungBuck to do something.
They're going to try and two-man dragon here. They've got the support. Everybody else from the Wolves is now joining the fray. They're going to get themselves on towards it. Slow reactions from Alliance. We do see Wickd backing off to base. Has got teleport available. Finally, Shook is going to come around. I think they're going to let this one go. No, teleport at the back of the pit. Here comes Wickd. He's going to join the party. Froggen's already there. The dragon's still yet to go down. Soren's going to get focused and gets dropped instantaneously. Nice fight for Alliance.
Perfect play here. Notice the top lane was pushed into the tower. Wickd just did it, then he recalled to base, shot bought a phage, and joined in for this dragon here. And even though YoungBuck was down to this bottom side, he didn't even join for the fight because Copenhagen Wolves didn't expect Alliance to actually try and contest it.
And look at that, they even saved the smite so they could go in and get the steal. Copenhagen Wolves reacting. I'm not sure this is the right fight for them though. Brokenshard's very low. YoungBuck's trying to run tanky interference on Nyph, but the rest of Alliance are reacting. Woolite jumps in, Flash immediately, Flash reacts. Now Brokenshard trying to get away. YoungBuck in trouble, he's going to go down. The Ignite running, one more hit, tapped with the big bomb, and we'll finish him off with the rocket.
2 kills on Tabzz already. Corki is so strong in these early team fights. He has so much burst potential. We saw the rocket here finish off YoungBuck as well. And Alliance, they're not done. They're staying here.
They're continuing to go. Froggen and Wickd getting onto Brokenshard. He goes down. Now Unlimited gets locked up. Death Sentence lands. He goes down. It is all snowballing out of control. Alliance are just running through the Wolves.
And everything here starts from the dragon. It's not done yet. Froggen, he wants to chase. Remember,
Woolite's got nowhere to go. He's going to get locked up. Uses his ultimate, but quickly Froggen reacts. Rift walks back on towards him. There's the knock-up. There's the finish. And Froggen gets himself another.
and again, everything starts from the dragon here. YoungBuck was in the bot lane with Wickd up in his top side here. He recalled after he pushed the lane and just joined in for the fight. The rest of Copenhagen Wolves were not in a proper position to handle Alliance, so they lose the fight, lose multiple kills, the blue buff as well. And things are not looking good also.
You do not want a 2-0-3 cast in level 8, just 9 minutes into the game. That is for damn sure. That is going to become a big, big, big problem. Wickd heading back towards that top lane. He's going to stop YoungBuck taking that tower. He was trying to force it down, but YoungBuck gets there just in time to save the day.
So again, the whole idea for Copenhagen Wolves, if we look back to Champ Select, leave Kassadin open, was to have an extended lane swap where Unlimited could then roam around and constantly try and go in towards Froggen, kill him, get a few kills on Soren, and then Copenhagen Wolves could try and snowball it. It didn't work, they forced one flash, but that was about it. They didn't actually go in the second time because then lane swap was done. Woolite returned to this bottom lane, we saw the dragon fight, and now we actually return to standard lanes. Wicked up here. There's a lot of members from Alliance all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's 100% involvement by Alliance in this one. They're moving well as a team. They're grouping up. Every time a kill comes, they are there in numbers. And right now, they're looking to shove down this top turret. There are 3 members up here. 3 members are countering that from the Copenhagen Wolves. I'm not sure this is a fight they want to have. They're going to be forced away. The range advantage that Alliance have to just lash down this. Now there's 4 members. We see Shook, he's about to join on your screen. Death Sentence does not quite land on Unlimited. Froggen, he's going down. He wants to deal with Woolite. Puts the damage back down. He tries to rocket jump away. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Does manage to catch Froggen. He can rift wall back onto this one. Has got flash if he wants to get it. It's not quite in range for Force Pulse. There he goes. Catches on towards him. That was the flash used. Woolite, rocket jump will be back available in a moment. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Froggen, one more Q should do it. He goes
can he jump?
Visible. Oh! Through the jump.
Unlucky Woolite, unlucky here, but the chase potential of a Kassadin, and already so many kills for Froggen. Yes, you can leave Kassadin open, you can try and counter it, but when he gets some early kills, it's gonna backfire.
When it's potentially the best mid laner in Europe. It's a very, very risky comp to run. They knew they had to do something. They knew they had to try some sort of tactic. It may well not have worked out this time around. Alliance take down the top turret. That's the second one of the game for them. And that is all that they wanted. They've got to be careful they don't back away now, because that top turret themselves, Copenhagen Wolves, are taking it very low as well.
It seems everyone, however, from this top lane, except for YoungBuck and Tabzz, is actually backing away from the lane. Got a tower. And wow. Froggen. Well, again, if you get some early kills, you might as well get an early Soul Stealer and just try and snowball completely out of control.
It's a risky second item. It's fairly cheap. It's only 1,200 gold overall, I think. Well, 1,235 overall, but that's risky, that's for sure. And also, slightly PM. Slightly.
But to be fair, it is a very good item if you are already getting some kills and you know you can keep walking around the map and just keep getting the kills here.
He did get blue buff there, so
he did.
Froggen now with the blue buff under the dress indeed. Wickd, he may well get focused out. Unlimited and Woolite fancy this one. Ultimate pop from Wickd, gets himself a little dash away. Yeah, I'm going to say I don't think Unlimited fancies this one. In fact, Alliance fancy this one. Froggen, he says, guys, I'm going to come around the backside. Instead, he may find himself Brokenshard in the jungle. Not going to work out this time, gets away.
It's all about forcing them away from the tower here, because Tabzz and Nyph, once again, pushing onto the towers. They took the bot lane, went up to top lane, and now in his mid lane tower is already very low. It just requires one more push from Alliance, and they should be able to take it, or at least force Copenhagen Wolves to engage onto them.
Dragons up in 40 seconds. Alliance are going to be in the positional advantage. You can see there is a pink ward from the Wolves just over on the blue buff, but that is about it. Blue buff does spawn. Remember, Shook smited this one out last time around, and looks like he's going to be doing the same again. They're going to give it to Tabzz. Finish it. Nope, Shook took it. I think that was meant to go to Tabzz.
Yeah, didn't actually want to give it the last hit. I'm not sure what Tabzz was expecting here. Does mean, however, smite is down for Shook. Will actually be up for the Dragon, so never mind.
Yep.
It was well timed by Alliance. Now they can instantly just send Froggen to a side lane because he's so strong already. Keep the rest of the members in his mid lane. Go up towards the very low tower, try and kill it, or just move straight for Dragon off someone like Unlimited.
There's the big ultimate. They're just waiting for it to time out. Shook, I think he's going to cocoon him the moment it goes. Death Sentence sidestepped. Doesn't matter. Tower goes down. That's all outers now down. And this game is speeding up very quickly. Woolite, he's been caught out once by Froggen, comes in, puts a big burst of poke down, takes out half of his hit points, while the Dragon is taken by the rest of the team.
Alright, so Alliance making sure to get all the outer turrets, can now move into the jungle of Copenhagen. Wolves place even more wards, get a very important ward in the mid lane, which you actually do see on your minimap, just around where Soren is. Once you kill the tower, place a ward so you can always see where Copenhagen Wolves is moving, if they're moving towards the red buff or the blue buff in their own jungle. So Alliance, full control. We've talked enough about Kassadin, but it is still pretty fun to see a Kassadin being locked in and then go completely crazy from the start.
It is good to see when actually finally played and not banned. YoungBuck, he's going to take this top turret, and, well, Wickd has to back away because the rest of the Wolves were gathering around that river area. So first turret of the game for the Wolves. Oh, Shook just putting the damage down on Brokenshard, goes back in, teleport comes in, danger, here comes Froggen, straight on towards Soren. Soren tries to get away, Windwall, is it going to be enough to block them out? Tries to throw down, Tabzz back on towards him, Nyph comes around the side, doesn't need the death sentence because Froggen gets himself the first stacks for his Soul Stealer.
And a double buff as well for Froggen here.
Oh, Shook. Another Soul Stealer, this time picked up by Shook.
Okay. Let's just call it a full focus on snowballing.
I think they're looking to finish this game quite quickly as the focus from Alliance here. This is going to be the inner turret going down. And look at this. I don't think Woolite wants to get involved in this one. Tabzz putting the damage down. They will defend it just for now, but it is not going to hold much longer. We're only 16 minutes into this game, and this is in danger of going rapidly out of control. Good headbutt from Unlimited, but is that 70% going to be enough? No! Death Sentence in there. Wickd gets himself his first kill of the game.
So just more kills from Alliance here.
I think this is a little bit of payback, I feel, for Alliance losing their win streak to the Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah, and again, okay, so Copenhagen Wolves, they tried this tactic early on to just get some kills on Froggen here, try and shut him down on this Kassadin. It completely backfired, and we're now stuck here with Wickd as well joining in. On Ilyas.
Sword of the Occult.
You can defend it on Kassadin, the rest Nope.
No, no, YoungBuck, danger, the rest of Alliance are coming in. Nyph fancies it, he hooks him in. YoungBuck's taken down, he goes down. And Alliance are just one moving juggernaut of a killing machine.
Stacks for Shook here. I do think they have a little competition going. Who can get the most stacks by the end of the game? So we probably won't see anyone sacrifice himself for the rest of the team. Brokenshard going in.
Brokenshard sacrificed himself. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Shook gets himself the kill there. Unlimited doing what he can. That Windwall really successful, but Unlimited doesn't have the ultimate available. Wickd gets himself a stack on there. Froggen continues on. Soren trying to get away from this one. He's going to be the focus. Flashes over the wall. Dead Center's not going to land on Woolite. And well, Copenhagen Wolves are in disarray here. They knew it was a risky move, and it is going to be a price to pay because Alliance are going to absolutely romp through this game now.
Just going to go back here. Nyph gets a cleaver in the face. That should already be a lot of gold on Alliance here. Let's see.
Stack update. It's currently Froggen. 6 stacks on Froggen, 5 on Shook, 5 on Wickd. We'll keep close eye on that one. Sword of the Occult picked up by Tabzz as well.
He's late, however.
He's late. He's got no stacks just yet.
It's no longer funny now. Now he's just late.
I want to know what Nyph's going to do.
Well, Soul Stealer, most likely, unless you want to smack people in the face. Still cold here.
Well, we'll see how this one goes. 12-2, 18 minutes gone. Alliance very much proving why they are top of the table right now. And honestly, all jokes aside, for the Wolves, this is a dangerous, dangerous game to play because if they lose this game, they are very, very close to not making the playoffs now. Yeah, there is a slim, slim chance because there's a 4-game difference between themselves and Roccat, but that requires Roccat to lose every game and the Wolves to win every game in Super Week.
Yeah, so again, of course they should believe, but I think Copenhagen was their focus is just, again, get synergy with the 2 new members here. Oh, Nyph might be in trouble, but never mind. The
Twin Shadows coming in here. Twin Shadows from Froggen now. Does manage to catch down and slow. Wickd chasing on towards this one. Woolite's got to be careful. That's a very fierce spider in that mid lane. Haunting Ghost was picked up a moment ago. Here comes the rest of Alliance. Woolite's got Rocket Jump available and may well need it. He does manage to pounce away. Froggen riff walks and chases. Has got Flash available if he wants to force pulse to slow down. There is the force pulse. There's the slow down. Woolite caught out. Wickd on towards him. Wickd wants the kill. Does get the stacks. Now Unlimited in trouble. He gets taken down. Tabzz gets the kill on there. Wicked's so low, but he does manage to get away.
It's all about staying alive here for Alliance. Wickd instantly gonna recall, even though his teleport is not up. The rest of Alliance staying and pushing 2 members dead from Copenhagen. Remember, we are still only 19 minutes into the game, so the death timers, they're not very long.
They're not very long at all, but this inhibitor turret, it's taking some serious punishment already. Froggen around that side. One more hit should do it. Tabzz is going to finish it off, and inhibitor turret goes down 19 minutes into the game.
Let's open up the base already. We haven't seen any Baron attempt from Alliance yet. Don't even need it, so they can just put full focus now on grouping up around this mid lane again. Woolite going towards this lovely farm in his bottom lane.
Oh no.
He's so dead.
Oh no, Woolite. He can repel over as well. There we go. Woolite caught out. Froggen gonna continue. Oh, he can go for it still though. I think he fancies it. Oh no. He's instead wise choice, going for the turret instead. Look at the side though. In comes Brokenshard and Unlimited. Can they manage to get themselves a kill on the board here? Onto Froggen. Whoa! Brokenshard just gets burst straight away. One little combo from Froggen, but they're in trouble. They're separated. He fancies Brokenshard. He's going to go towards it. Force ball's not enough. Shook gets on towards it. Froggen does get himself the kill. Froggen taken down. Can he get dropped? He gets away. And the tower hit goes onto Shook. And Froggen's clean. Oh, good cocoon lands. Now Tabzz comes around the side. He's burning down the damage. Shook's going to get focused on. Nyph comes around to support. Throws out the lance and can flay onto the entire team. Wickd joins onto the team. YoungBuck gets himself on towards there. Tabzz gets the kill and continues his stacks. And Froggen is still alive.
But right now, you just want someone from Alliance to die, actually, so we can see them be mad about losing the stacks on the Soul Stealer or the Sword of Occult here. Copenhagen Wolves, however, tried. Now Froggen with Home Guard joining in again.
Teleport Home Guard looking to get and improve those stacks. He's at 10 stacks, by the way, so far on that Soul Stealer. He's leading this race. A little race of their own. Got boots and mobility as well, just to continue his dominance. So, Dragons up. That's going to be a taken. Another inner turret went down. It's now 16-2. Just 22 minutes coming up on the clock here. and massive, massive control for Alliance. It's a 15,000 gold lead, 21 minutes in.
I'm actually just standing here hoping Copenhagen Wolves will kill Alliance and win the game. Because of all these stacking items and Alliance playing around with the Wolves, you just wanted to actually get some kills, deny some stacks from Alliance, and maybe try and come back in the game. Right now, it's definitely not looking good.
Well, Shook has now completed the Leandris as well, so he's actually, you know, all jokes aside with these builds, they have got crazy damage right now with those stacks, of course. You know, I think it's once it passes 8, isn't it? It starts to become cash-worthy, maybe 6. Well, they're up to 10 and plus at the moment between them. 10 for Froggen, 8 for Shook. Wickd on 8 as well. Tabzz only on 4 so far. We'll see who gets the kills because that's the all-important count. Oh, Nyph not landing that death sentence. That would have started things rolling as they move in for this inhibitor. Flash in there,
Hey.
Pulverized down. They don't get enough down. Soren's in trouble. He gets caught out. Brokenshard gets down, and it is Wickd that is picking up all of the kills. Wickd chasing on towards them. Can they get on towards YoungBuck? Cocooned on towards the tower. They want to finish this one. Froggen fancies it, but the inhibitor is the target they really want to get in the end, and that will go down. They're not going to finish the game yet, but they are very close to doing it already.
Yeah, Copenhagen was just wanted to try and engage, see if they could get some kills. Didn't work for them at all. Unlimited didn't even have time to use his ult. He just went in, instantly got smacked down.
13 stacks apiece now. Wickd and Froggen dead level.
The Danish
Shook is chasing. The Danish fight is on. Copenhagen Wolves. You know, this is the risk. You know, they had the plus side of their all-in strategy before.
Yeah.
This is the downside of an all-in strategy backfiring horribly, and it hasn't really worked out for them too well. It's not so much an all-in strategy, but it was more tactically from the beginning. You could tell what they were doing with that Alistair. It hasn't worked out this time around.
Again, it was all planned. They would leave the castle in open. At least it appeared to be all planned, and then try and counter it with Unlimited going into his mid lane, and hopefully get Soren a few kills, and then Woolite with the early first blood. Potentially he could have snowballed and moved into the late game pretty fast on Tristana as well. Didn't work at all. It was all actually about the first dragon. Copenhagen Wolves completely misplayed the first dragon. Alliance picked up all the kills, got the dragon as well, and just started the whole thing.
So blue buff picked up by Froggen. Where's he gonna go? Brokenshard. Oh, you stood on a ward. There's a pink ward right there. He's just... They realised it now. They realised it. They're going to back off. They're not going to go for him. Or are they? Lantern's going to pull him across. Froggen, does he fancy Riff walking in? I don't think he does. I think he wants the Lantern from Nyph. Wants free passage. They're going to go for Baron instead.
Oh, still baiting it. Still baiting
Yeah,
it. They're waiting for this one kill. They don't want to give Brokenshard a chance.
Uh-oh, there it is. Cocoon caught out. That's unlimited. 70%. It's not going to be enough, frankly. Who's going to get the kill? That's the question. It's going to be Shook. Oh, he's now closing in the gap as well on the stacks. That is the race right now. 13 stacks for him as well. 14 for both Froggen and Wickd. YoungBuck caught out. Look at that. The tankiest member, not a chance. Shredded down. Tabzz gets himself the kill. Alliance chase on through. Froggen on towards Woolite. Woolite desperately going to try and turn this one around. Has he got enough to try and take him down? No, he hasn't. Wickd gets the kill. Soren now going to get locked up. Tries to get the slowdown on him. Not going to be enough. And Alliance, they can finish the game right here.
If they want to, there's 14 seconds on YoungBuck. Doesn't look like Alliance actually want to push up because there's no minions. So just waiting around, looking for more kills. Froggen is very low, but there's no teleport, so he doesn't want to go back to base just yet.
16 stacks now on Wickd and Froggen, 13 on Shook and Tabzz, who will complete and hit 21st. Tabzz is doing the damage on the tower while the rest of the Wolves try and defend. He's going to quickly Valkyrie away with the rest of his team as they all back away. Just 2 minutes on the Dragon. That's not the focus, though. It is going to be cleaning up everything from the Wolves' jungle. They're now 18,000 gold behind. 22-8, 6-1 in turrets. And Alliance are dominating and proving why they are the #1 team in Europe right now.
Well, Alliance did have some unusual items. They still play to win this game here. They're not playing just to wait around. We see them bait the Baron, wait for Copenhagen to make a move, get a kill, and then once again push into the base. They just didn't have an option yet to actually finish the game, but they are clearly just looking here to finish as fast as possible and keep baiting around this Baron. Copenhagen Wolves, they know our only chance at the moment is if we steal this Baron, get the buff, and then ace Alliance. Then they respawn, we ace them again, and then we win the game. Easy peasy.
Alliance setting up, easy peasy, no problem. They got this. Alliance trying to set up something, and this time around the Wolves are not falling for it. I think they may well be able to go for Baron quite freely here, and that is where they're going to head off towards. Nyph, I can tell you, is just 2 assists away from hitting the 1,000 mark. And I think it may well happen in this game because Brokenshard is about to find him in the bush there. Death sentence does not land. Flay goes in. Baron buff picked up. Froggen continues to pursue. Brokenshard ripping down his health. Not quite going to get it this time around, but the rest of Alliance move in towards his top tower.
YoungBuck is down his bottom lane, actually trying to get some gold for the Wolves, but he's going to have to teleport back here if they actually want to try anything. This first tower is gone. Next one, Copenhagen Wolves just have to try and all in.
Well, YoungBuck's going to get himself the tower down the bottom, so it's a something for nothing. I'm not sure really what, because they're going to lose the inhibitor turret if he's not back there to defend right now. I'm not even sure even if his presence was there, he'd be able to do anything about it. Limited just gets shredded down. He goes down. Tabzz gets himself the kill. There is the 1,000th of assist for Nyph as the rest of Alliance push on through. YoungBuck goes down. Shook gets on towards that one. Brokenshard caught out. He goes very low as well. Wickd at the moment trying to plow on through. Tabzz putting the damage down, and this is an absolute massacre coming out here. 20 stacks picked up by Froggen now. He is the winner of the stack competition. Twin Shadows catching on. The spooky ghosts coming out. Just one member, Brokenshard, stands between Alliance and victory.
And this time around they do have minions and can actually go for the finish on Alliance. Such a good performance.
Such a solid performance here. Dominant performance. They want more kills. They're going to get more kills. Brokenshard gets melted. Soren gets caught out. They are just shredding through the Copenhagen Wolves. 29-2. They're going to go to 30 here. They're going to continue on. The Nexus will fall, and Alliance continue at the top of the table.
All right, so everything in this game here involves around the very first dragon. Copenhagen Wolves, they had the idea. They wanted to try and shut down Froggen on this Cassadin. They wanted to lane swap here. They got an early first blood on Woolite. And then it was all about the very first dragon, where Copenhagen Wolves were not in a position, even though they were the ones to start it, to actually team fight Alliance. They lost it, and of course the rest is history.
20 stacks on everyone.
On everyone.
Everybody hit 20 stacks
so
there.
Everyone is a winner.
Wickd, Shook, Froggen and Tabzz all hit 20 stacks on Sword of the Occults and Soul Stealers. Crazy amounts of ability power actually probably towards the end there. Only 465 for Froggen, but
if you can't
we're only at
snowball
28 minutes in the game.
They are good items if you can actually keep snowballing and keep picking up kills. So if you really feel confident, you can constantly get kills here and you can put pressure on the enemy team. They will be good items. I mean, we didn't see them build anything else other than the standard items. So in that case, it made a lot of sense for Alliance, and they used it to actually further snowball the game.
Yeah, fantastic results and crazy stats, honestly. 7-1-12 for Wickd, 8-1-11 for Shook, 6-0-21 for Froggen in their mid lane and Cassadin, 8-0-14 on Tabzz, and 0-0-22 for Nyph.
True support. Didn't even kill steal once.
No, but Freak has him in the LCS. Caster fantasy.
If you do have any Alliance players, or maybe you have
any Alliance players, you're happy
team,
now.
Like I
you compare it to yesterday, obviously they didn't get that many fantasy points today. It blew everyone away. It's fantasy points all around for everyone who had them in their team. Fantastic performance, honestly, overall, and proving why they are the #1 team in Europe.
And also proved why they were so mad last time they played Copenhagen Wolves and things went wrong for Alliance in the early game and they lost the game, because they just showed here, as long as they get the lead themselves, they know how to close it out against the Wolves.
Well, for an insider's take on the last match, let's send it over to Shox, who is standing by with Nyph, the unkillable.
Thank you very much, D-Man. Nyph, the unkillable. A little bit of a retribution, I feel, versus the Copenhagen Wolves. That a fantastic victory. Just one thing I want to touch on in picks and bans is obviously you guys saw that the Cassadin was open and then probably didn't fear any counter.
No, we just picked the first pick like always, and it showed that it's still really strong, and we won again by this.
What would you say is the central element that got you going? Because obviously they were in that bush for the first blood, but after that it was all you.
Yeah, they played the lanes up really bad actually. They left Wickd alone, and he got a lot of XP, and the Mundo fall really far behind, so we got actually really far ahead, even though they got the first blood.
So I don't know if you know, but you hit the 1,000th assist in your LCS career, and that is in the regular season. The only other support that's done that is like special over in NA. Does that have any special sentiment for you?
Yeah, it's actually really awesome. I saw that X Special got it, and I was like at 970 or something. But I haven't really followed it, but I got like over 20 assists this game, so it's actually really an awesome feeling to get that many assists. It's something special.
It absolutely is. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, what a turnaround season it has been for Millennium after finishing last in the spring split the last season around. They'll be facing Fnatic after a break. Stay put.
They're continuing to go. Froggen and Wickd getting onto Brokenshard. He goes down. Now Unlimited gets locked up. There is the force pulse. There's the slow down. Woolite caught out. Wickd on towards him. Wickd wants the kill. Does get the stacks. Now Unlimited in trouble. He gets taken down. Flash in now. Pulverized down. They don't get enough down. Soren's in trouble. He gets caught out. Brokenshard gets down. And it is Wickd that is picking up all of the kills.